Yo, welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And we're going to talk about how you can increase your hourly worth. Now, as a real estate agent, you're an independent contractor, you're commission based, for sure, that's real. But I want to help you guys get very clear on your income per hour. Okay. So I'm going to give you a formula. This is going to be a good short one, straight to the point, because I want you to start. Here's the issue, and here's why this is important and germane to, helping you have a better understanding of building your business and how to look at things as an operator. There's a thing called delayed gratification. And the work that you do today, you don't actually see the fruits of your labor until 90 days later. That's just the way it is in this business. So if you're prospecting every single day, 2 to 4 or 5 hours a day, and you're setting appointments and you're getting signed clients and you're showing property, like if you're doing that today and you're doing that consistently over the weeks, you're typically not going to see like money coming in until 90 days later. And for some people, they don't even see money coming in, but what they start seeing are actual results in the lead measures, meaning like the lagging measure is the money hitting your account, you getting the closings. The leading measures are you setting the appointments and you getting in front of clients and presenting to them and getting them signed and writing offers. And those are more of the leading measures. So this is important because when we're in a business that delayed gratification is inevitable, you have to learn to be patient, but work as if you are impatient because, again, things are going to be delayed, right? It's important to understand with each hour you put into your business, each hour you invest into your business on a daily basis, how much money you're truly earning per hour. Because here's the pain point: if you don't put in the hours that you need to, the invested hours, then essentially your hourly worth is going to go down. And you will be able to determine that you'll be able to ask yourself these questions and be aware of it. Like, man, I showed up here at the office and I only did 1 hour of actual work. And because of that, my income is going to be negatively impacted, which means my hourly rate is going to go down if I keep this behavior going moving forward. Okay. So, in a nutshell, I guess it's not really in a nutshell. But that is the reason why I wanted to bring this to you today so we could think a little different about how we're getting paid. So this is something that you've probably heard before. Ben Franklin, I believe, is who said it. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Okay. So very, very important that, again, when it comes to intention, when it comes to every single day, like what are we doing to increase our hourly rate? Because that's important. Everybody wants to get paid $1 million an hour, $500 an hour, $50 an hour. Well, you better be intentional in your plan and putting the work in. So what is plan? PLAN. They're acronyms, okay? P stands for prospecting. Prospecting. L stands for lead follow-up. Okay. So the difference between the two is prospecting is you're talking to new people. You're developing new business opportunities from lead generating, from calling FISBO, circle prospecting, calling people that you've not spoken to before, you don't have a relationship with. Lead follow-up is more maintaining the relationship that you established or continue to nurture that relationship that you essentially got from prospecting. All right. So lead follow up is like the graduated next step in moving your business forward. A stands for appointments. Obviously, you got to get in front of people. You got to make sure that you are articulating your value. You got to make sure that you're transferring confidence from you to the client, so then they feel confident in hiring you. And you got to, that's something that you got to do essentially on a daily basis if you're really humming in your business. And then N stands for negotiating contracts, because again, we got to put deals together. We got to put them together. So plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And plan stands for prospect, lead follow-up, appointments, and negotiating contracts. So when we talk about I don't know if you've ever heard of the 80-20, 80-20. So only 20% of the activities that an agent will do are actually high income producing activities. Only 20% of the activities that an agent will do are actually high income producing activities. The remaining 80% are activities that are low non-income producing activities, and they should honestly be delegated to someone else. And let me give you an example. The 20% that's going to get you the results that you're actually looking for, the money making activities, the high income producing activities, again, PLAN, prospect, lead follow up, appointments, negotiations. That's your 20%. Your 80% that may make you feel busy, right? But busy doesn't always mean productive. There's a difference between being busy and there's a difference between like versus being productive. The 80% activities that you're probably doing are you in Canva creating a template to post that you just got an accepted offer. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Or another 80% could be you are you're creating your website. What? I mean, there's so many things that we can do. Oh, another one could be, oh, I'm clearing out my email, which again, that's something that you should do. It's something you should do, but it should not be a priority before the 20% being the high income producing activities. Okay. All things that I just mentioned, the 3, 4 things I just mentioned, sure, you can do them, but do not prioritize them over PLAN. And I can go on and on and on about oh, here's another one, meeting with loan officers for lunch. It's like, okay, cool. Um, that every once in a while is cool, but just remember, as a real estate agent, if you're constantly going out and you're taking hour and a half long lunches and you're doing all that, like, you over time that compounds into being non-productive. So just things like that, things like that. You got to take care of you first. And taking care of you first is prospecting, lead follow up, appointments, and negotiations. And then you can earn the right to do the other stuff that because you took care of you first. Now, let's get into the actual formula. Very simple because, and that, as a matter of fact, before I break down a formula, which is very simple, I I think it would be a great idea. This is something that I did. I would write down what my current hourly rate was, and I would just put it on a post-it note, and I would put it on my monitor right in front of me. And then I would put what my goal hourly rate was. So I would have where I'm actual and then what my goal was. Okay. And then for me, every week, every month, every quarter, I'm redoing this formula to see if I am I going up or am I going down. And it was a nice little gamification, that I would do to it would motivate me to do the work that was required, but also too, like, I mean, it's something to where when you see progress, it does something to you. It really does. It's like endorphins. You feel like you're building yourself as how much integrity do you have, right? Because some people will say, "Well, I'm someone of integrity." Like, cool. How much integrity do you have? Because you don't have integrity in everything, right? But I do know building confidence in oneself is making a promise and keeping it, right? So if you told yourself you were going to show up to the office and do the work that day, did you do it? Yes or no? And if you did it, then you're going to feel good about yourself. You made progress and you kept your word. And so doing stuff like this is a great measuring stick to see, okay, am I going up or am I going down? Am I going forward or am I going backwards? And it really does build momentum because, again, it's the motivation factor, right? All right, let's get into it. Hourly worth. So I want you to take your estimated hours worked per week, whether it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever it is for you. Okay. Estimated hours worked per week. And I want you to times that by the amount of weeks that we're currently in at the time of you in the year. So we got 52 weeks in a year. At the time of me shooting this podcast episode, we are 48 weeks right now into the year. Okay. So you would times it by 48. And then you would divide your total GCI. And what I would do is take out of your total GCI year to date, take like you have your growth, and I want you to use the number after splits to the brokerage or team, whatever you're doing. What is left after that? Use that number. Okay. So you're going to divide that number by the total hours worked, and that's going to equal your current hourly worth. So let me say one more time. To get the total hours worked so far, you're going to take your estimated hours worked per week. You're going to times that by, in this case, 48. Okay. That's going to give you your total hours worked so far. Okay. You're going to divide your total GCI after splits by the total hours worked, and that will give you your current hourly worth. Okay. Now, again, a great question, I guess, to ask yourself, and I already gave you the answer, but how can you, just looking at your business, looking at your behaviors, your habits, how can you increase your hourly worth starting today? And I want you to write that answer down. And then I want you to write down your hourly worth and write down what you want your goal to be. So if you're currently at $100 an hour, great. Some people would dream, like that's what their dream, to make $100 an hour. And maybe you're currently at that. Maybe you want to get to $1,000 an hour. I know people that make $5,000 an hour, right? I know people that make $2,000 in 20 minutes. Okay. Um, so how how can you increase your hourly worth? Write down your answer and be very clear and concise, and then make sure you have in front of you your current hourly worth and then what your goal is. And then I want you to track it and measure it at least every month, I will say, and then just see how you do. So cool. All right, that's a little strategy that I wanted to share with you guys that can give you a little pick me up. And the beautiful thing is, you're probably, like most of us, like you're probably realizing there's a great opportunity right now in the market to garner more business, because a lot of agents and a lot of loan officers, people are taking their foot off the gas. And I'm telling you right now, there are deals closing every single day. There are closings today. There are going to be closings. This is Thanksgiving week, but there's going to be closings all throughout the week, next week, next month. Like, closings are happening every single day. The question is, are you going to be a part of that? Are you going to be in those closings? And so take advantage of it. This is a great opportunity to do the work and have great momentum and success going into quarter 1. So, all right, y'all be strong. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.